It's on like Donkey Kong. We are there. Boom.
All right, cool. All right, okay. Hey guys, we have no guest today.
Yes, we are the guests. We're the talent. We are the guests. I think we do have a guest.
We have many things to talk about.
We have Tetsuya Tokyo's poop.
Oh man, you think you're cool, don't you? I got something better. I got something better. But first, we have to tweet out to Grace and make sure she's watching this. So, you think she's watching?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like she's always watching, but you know.
She's always watching. Let me tweet out to her. What's the link?
The earphone paper. That's a problem with keeping this balance. You know what I like to show.
I got something better than that, man. But I got to get onto your channel. And
well, no, don't go too crazy doing stuff. We are live at the moment, so we might.
I know.
I got
to get the link to this show, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't actually have. Did you?
I sent it to you.
I know. Right? I'm just crazy busy right now.
I know you're in a lesson to just now, right?
Yeah, I just finished like literally 3 minutes ago. So live streams. Okay, here we go. And yeah, Ali Poop. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, man. That's a real shame. But
yes and no. You know what? I don't think it is.
You always have to think the.
I just want to disagree with you.
So Hikosaemon is happy that Muhammad Ali is dead.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Let me elaborate on that. The guy's 74 years old. He's had Parkinson's for 40 years.
That's my dad's age. Yeah. That's freaky. Yeah.
But you know what? That's a good old age, especially for a champion heavyweight boxer who's had Parkinson's for 2 decades. He's had a really good life. I feel like if he was like 50, it would be kind of sad or tragic. If he's 74, it's like for me, I think we have to take death the right way. We have we should. This is a great opportunity to remember, that we had this great person, and all the cool things that he did, not just the way that he fought. I love the way that he used to speak. I love his interviews. His interviews are so cool. Just how he's so eloquent and he's so clever with the way that he speaks.
He was very clever.
How many boxers outside of Ali could you say are really clever at speaking or really intelligent and lucid, eloquent speakers? I can't think of a single one.
Who is our most famous boxer living right now? Who's actually active, I mean.
Right now? Well, that's
Mayweather.
Well, there
you go. He can't even read.
Well, what was the Filipino guy? The Pacino?
Well, he hates homosexuals. I can't support him no matter what.
Well, this is what we have today. I mean, you think about Ali, genuine civil rights, genuine, a real remarkable time in U.S. history, anti-Vietnam War, Muslim nation, all this sort of stuff, and was very eloquent as a speaker. I mean, he was Malcolm X-ish at times, the way he could speak and represent it. I think he's just really
cool. Interviews. Yeah, I've watched quite a few of his interviews on YouTube, old ones, of course. But I got something else.
I'm feeling slightly disrespectful, however, talking about the recently departed with poop on my head.
Well, I'm gonna be more disrespectful.
I was hoping to go in a different English course.
I want to talk about his visit to Tokyo 5 years before he retired, which is pretty cool, and his WrestleMania match. But before that, I have something. Check it out.
Oh,
check it out.
You
know what this is.
I sense that somebody might have sent you a nasty parcel that might have some.
On camera.
I unboxed mine the other day.
Live unboxing. This is a live unboxing. Here we go.
That's exciting. What's gonna happen? Is there gonna be a poop in a box?
Oh, newspaper.
Well, I think that was worth it just for the
newspaper. Here it goes. Welcome to the Poop Hat family. You are number 247. What number are you?
133, dude. I'm like way in advance. Yeah.
Right. There we go. Poop Hat family. Arigato, thank you. I wonder if this is by Ryo-chan. Okay, so here we go. This is the book that you have, right?
Yeah.
Mine's supposed to be signed. I paid a little extra for the signature. Let's see. Oh, yes. Did you get an actual? Did you get a message? I didn't get a message. Just signature.
Yeah, just signatures. Just.
That's all right. I would expect. They're very busy, but very nice. They're very nice postcard.
They did take the time to actually create a poop for me. So, you know.
And the most amazing thing ever. Just, I got to take this off for a second. The most amazing thing ever here. Putting this on right now. Let's just go on this way. Yeah.
I forgot to fix that. Ben Duncan, good observation. Sorry, I fix this whole thing right now, but he's continuing to speak without having the earphone in.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
The image on my camera, I'm using my DSLR for this camera image, and it's reversed at the moment, so I need to fix that. I know how I can fix that. Let me do this.
Oh, there we go.
Boom. I fixed it, right?
Okay.
Well, you're not even listening to me, are you? That's okay. I think I should not be reversed anymore. Although that's right, my YouTube shirt should now be better. Let me refresh my. Am I now a mirror image? I was mirrored before. Like YouTube was backwards.
Now I can read YouTube. How about me? Can you read Rockstar?
Yes, I can. That's cool. Laundry, right? That brand. I like that brand.
Yeah, that's a good brand. Laundry brand. Yes.
Yeah.
Laundry brand too.
That was the evil Hiko before. Now the good Hiko is back, Mr. Kordychek. Thank you for checking.
All right. Cool. So I had a really good busy week. My school got a lot of new students this week, which we haven't had a burst like that in a while. So I've been pretty busy. And of course, the news was really exciting this week with the gorilla story and the boy in Hokkaido. Yamato, what do you read the lyrics?
Victor, sorry, I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt. You have to move out of the frame for a second.
Yeah, I heard about that, but okay, I'll do it. But
No, you have to get up out of your chair and move out so that they can take a photo of they can take a cap of the room that you're in with you not there. Step aside, count to 10. You have to move a slightly
right, I gotta put this down for a second now.
They're actually leaving the room. See, this is a problem, so I can't call them back. Okay, that's it. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are good. Victor, come back.
Was that good? I don't know what that was for, but okay, there we go.
And by the way, I'd just like to apologize for this being such a crappy stream so far. But I have the feeling today it's going to be pretty, just overall, it's just going to be pretty poopy.
I had a great week. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I had a very full-on week this week. I'm still recovering from this week, but yeah, all good.
I've got some potentially very popular, very potentially very good news. I won't say the name yet, but I've been contacted by a Wi-Fi company.
Yeah.
That may be able to give us Wi-Fi accessibility to do these shows live from other locations.
Right.
So we're working on that now. So you guys cross your fingers on that. So maybe next week, or the next couple of weeks, or maybe not every time, but maybe once in a while we'll be able to do a live show from different locations. I want to do one from an abandoned or it's not, of course, not abandoned, but a jinja or
a shrine.
Yes, a shrine. Right? That would be cool.
Yeah. Cool. Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Hey, so Ghostbusters coming out, and I hear it's great. Well, the old cast and the new cast have agreed to appear on TV together to promote the movie, which is pretty phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And Dan Aykroyd says it's great. He says a lot of fun. So, of course, everyone's got their panties in a twist about it. They're all upset because it's all women. People are against all that. The gorilla story. Did you have any thoughts? We haven't talked at all for this whole week. Did you have any thoughts about the gorilla and the boy?
Before the show, but no, we didn't have a chance. So, you're talking about the Hokkaido thing?
No, the gorilla in Cincinnati.
The girl and the boy. I'm sorry. Did I hear about the girl and the boy? You have to be more specific. I heard about the boy in Hokkaido. The girl. What girl?
No, the gorilla.
Oh, gorilla. I heard about the gorilla in Cincinnati. Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not being featured on Japanese news at all. Almost no one knows about it.
Oh, I've seen it being featured in Japanese news, but yeah, I mean, it's not big news.
Of course, after the fact, but not big in America. Of course, they don't understand why everyone's so upset.
Well, there's a petition in Japan. There's a Japanese petition I've seen joining in the outrage. From what I understand, though, I mean, they showed that there's a video of when the kid first climbed into the enclosure, and the gorilla didn't look like it was doing anything then. But then they moved everybody away from the enclosure. and the accounts are that the gorilla was basically like waving the kid around and running
I saw
up
that.
and down.
I saw that. I saw both videos. They showed two different videos depending on where.
Was there a video showing that, the gorilla throwing the kid around? Well, if that's the case, I mean, it sucks, but it doesn't sound like there was much choice there. I mean, it's good that they're going to investigate it. Mm-hmm. I know. What's your thought? I haven't seen that video of the.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, number one, have you ever done anything to help gorillas in your life?
No.
So everyone who's fucking pissed off about this should shut the fuck up. I mean, what have you done to help endangered animals in your life in the first place? Except maybe
go to a zoo, where they have breeding programs and they sponsor the breeding programs in the parks and so on.
Some of them do, but some of them breed out they have breeding programs and then they sell the animals to zoos that don't have breeding programs. What's the point of that? You're just having a trapped animal. But. So
what's your point, though? Are you anti-zoo or
I'm anti-knee-jerk reactions for things that people don't even know the facts about. Everyone's calling for this woman to have her custody rights retracted or taken away. Not retracted, taken away.
Oh, wait a minute. So we'll stop there a minute, because when you said if people have got a problem with this, they should. But I'm thinking the problems with the gorilla. But no, you're talking about the people who have the problem with the mum.
The mum, because it was an endangered animal, and it was so precious. But if you really care that much about animals,
I thought you meant the opposite.
Well, if you cared so much about gorillas, why haven't you done anything in your life to help gorillas except complain about something when you have a chance to be a keyboard warrior and suddenly sign a petition that's going to have possibly a woman's child taken away from her? I
haven't been following the outrage closely. I've heard that there have been some people ganging up on the mum and the kid and so on, but at the same time, they probably didn't have a choice about shooting the gorilla, which is sad. I mean, it's sad that situation arose.
It is sad, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely sad that the gorilla was shot, but at the same time, I think it's crazy for people to demand that the woman's parental rights be taken away. And you know who else is on this? Our old friend Anonymous. Anonymous apparently released a video threatening the mother in some way. I didn't see the video, so
I don't know. This whole debate strikes me as, frankly, U.S. election debate level, which is completely fucking retarded, and I'm not interested. I'm really not interested, actually.
But Trump has called for guerrillas to be armed so that they can protect themselves.
Well, if you give them nuclear weapons, then America won't have to pay to defend them anymore. So, yeah. And what shit happens, right? But seriously,
you don't know this, maybe, Hiko. Well, maybe you do. But did you know that about 5 years ago, Bill Maher, that's his name.
He's like a TV guy, right?
Yeah. So he's a political.
I've heard the name. Yeah,
he's a comedian, and he swore that he is sure that Trump's father is a orangutan.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's orange, right? And Trump came on TV and he said he actually sued, or he declared he was going to sue on TV. I actually saw the interview, or he actually sued him for defamation or something.
Yeah.
Because of this, so it's actually pretty funny. I actually thought Trump might say something about because he's been likened to an orangutan in the past, but of course nothing came of it. So that's one thing that kind of pissed me off this week. And and the other thing is that apparently one of the parents is a daycare center worker. One of the offending parents, right? And apparently very good at the job. The mother or the father. I think it's the mother. I think the mother.
I mean, it's a sad story, but I really don't give a shit. I really don't. It's a sad, horrible thing. But the fact that we're even talking about it here in Japan, this is for me, it's a sad local news story.
That's true. That's kind of my point. It's a sad local news story that's achieved international proportion. I mean, it's just gone crazy. It's blown up. Why? It's just sad. People have nothing better to do. So
yeah, I mean, but that's it. If you have a general problem, and you've been consistently against the idea of zoos or the idea of having these animals in captivity for our entertainment, I think there are good zoos that do legitimate, good things for animals, but I think there's a legitimate argument there about this whole situation shouldn't have been there to occur in the first place. But no, the whole, and frankly, the people saying that if the orangutan died, someone should be held accountable for that. Like it's a bit like the whaling activists as well. They think well, we should be able to kill if they can kill whales. There's an equating well, a legitimate, to some extent equating of that life with, basically treating it like it's the same or even worse than the killing of a person.
You think it's legitimate?
What do you mean?
You just said it's legitimate equation. Equating the human to a whale.
I think that if you, I recognize and I defer to the moral superiority of ethical beings, of people who think it's wrong to take animal life. I mean, it feels wrong. While I would say legally, I don't think we keep dogs as slaves, basically, right? We own them as property, and we love them. We treat them like family, but they are our property, and we can put them to sleep and whatever, and we can do all these sort of things that we couldn't do with people, right? But at the same time, they are lives. They're things they can love. So I don't know. I feel really weak trying to defend the position that we have, and that I support that gorilla is the property of the zoo, and if it's a danger to a person, they've got to shoot it. And maybe it's better if the whole situation had never arisen. I feel a little bit vulnerable in that area, but at the same time, I mean, that's kind of how it is. If there's a kid there whose life is in danger, you don't prioritize the endangered animal over the kid. I mean,
Right.
if you think that that's wrong, maybe you've even got an argument with that. But the situation being the situation, we have to, if it's our species, if it's someone from our species or someone from another species, this is a bit of a horrible way to put it, but of course they have to protect the kid.
Yeah. It was pretty simple. But the funny thing is just the people who are so righteous about their opinion. Oh no, the parents have to go to jail.
Internet.
I know.
The new internet and the
It depresses me when that
this is the new internet. If any admission of reasonableness of the other side, or any sort of like what I like to do, of try to look at it from all sides, that's weakness. Lose any internet debate if you show any backing down for a second. That's what we've trained the new generation of internet users.
Take a position and double down. Double downing is the new technique.
Well, that's right. I mean, and it works. It's damn effective. I mean, if you get enough people doing it relentlessly enough for long enough, it actually works. I hate to admit it, and that's what this is a product of.
Well, politically speaking, that's what Trump and Hillary Clinton are both doing. Anything they're accused of, they just double down on. No, I was right. They never think, well, maybe you have a point. No, they just keep their ridiculous positions, even though they've been proven to be lies in both cases. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that.
And I don't want to talk about Trump, but that's exactly where he's been so successful. Actually, he's acting like a new age internet troll. Yes, and it's really effective. It's effective. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
In the worst possible way. So yes. Anyway, back to Japan though. What I prefer to talk about that's a bullshit story. I'm really sorry about the gorilla, and it is a tragedy. Yeah. But the 7-year-old kid. What's your thought about that? Driving the kid into the woods and
that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I was watching that and thinking he must be dead, but at the same time thinking, where the hell's the body? Where are his shoes? If a bear ate him, there's got to be something left,
but there's all those bears up there. That assumes you've been eaten by bears, probably.
Yeah, but bears don't eat shoes or belts, and they leave torn up clothes and blood. If they'd been eaten by bears, they would have found something. Probably, yes. Right?
Well, I thought your channels were saying they should be checking the bear poop at this point.
Yeah. They found the bear poop, and they were checking the bear poop. But what was fun? By the way, Texan in Tokyo is in the comment section. They're very happy. Yeah, they're both happy that we are chilling in wearing the poop hats while talking about serious subjects.
We've got one down thumb who says that we've been shitheads for years, so now we're just doing them the favor of physiologically representing.
I'm pretty disappointed that we have only 13 thumbs up and 58 people watching this.
Well,
Okay. The boy is a piece of work. First of all, he's throwing rocks. Let's just assume that the parents are not lying about this. That he's throwing rocks at cars. So he's put him out of the car, which is completely reasonable. I think my dad would have done the same thing. Yeah. Get out of the car. That's it. Get out. And leave me in Quebec.
Timeout. Yeah, a timeout. Absolutely. A timeout. Hey, that's not acceptable.
And the kid is smart. He's like, fuck, screw you guys. I'm going to teach you a lesson. And he ran off. He apparently ran off almost immediately.
Well, wait a minute. That's not exactly right. That's not even what the dad said.
The dad said that he was gone for 5 minutes.
No. The dad said that the dad was gone. The parents and everyone got back in the car and left the kid on a spot and drove away for 5 minutes, and then they drove back to the spot. So, and the kid probably moved in that time, and maybe said, "Screw you." Maybe you're right about that part, but it's a pretty important part that the kid did not run away. The parents ran away from the kid first.
Right.
And then they wanted to scare the kid into thinking that he had been abandoned in the forest, which is actually what ended up happening. That the kid was abandoned for 6 days.
But it's a miracle that the kid found that hut, because there's no way he could have, unless he knew it was there, which I doubt.
Yeah, it was like 5 k's away. Walked through the forest.
Right. Even if he knew where it was, how would he find it? Even if he knew it was out there, it's impossible to walk 5 kilometers through the forest and find it. So it's a miracle the kid found it. But the weird thing is, like, what was he doing just sitting in the hut for 5 days? Do you think he'd look for something? He's smart enough to find the hut. He's conniving enough to.
Wait a minute. But so you're suggesting that if you were that 7-year-old kid,
I think the kid's a psychopath. I think the kid's possibly a psychopath.
So wait a minute, but let's go back to this. So if you're a 7-year-old kid with poo on your head, you walk 5 kilometers through a heavily wooded forest where you would probably die of exposure or get eaten by bears or starve to death. You find a hut with running water, a mattress, and shelter. And what you would do is you would leave that hut and continue searching after you found the hut.
Not immediately, but every day I would go out and look.
But you get lost again. And this is a really dense forest.
Not if he can come back to the hut, if he can find his way back to the hut.
But why would you leave the hut? I mean, surely, actually, you would assume a hut.
Because you'd be hungry. The kid hasn't eaten for 5 days.
But surely you would assume, if you're at a hut, you'd assume that people are going to come eventually, which is what happened. Why would you go back into, into a forest where you're almost guaranteed to get lost? And you don't know where you are in the first place. Why would you leave the hut? And remember, this is what saved the kid. It had running water, and it had the mattress, and it had shelter. Why? You're assuming that he could navigate his way. He could go exploring for a day and then navigate his way back to the hut. And he's 7 years old. It sounds to me like he's a smart kid.
You think he knew people would eventually show up at the hut?
Well, I think he knew that was probably the safest place to wait.
Huh. Well, I haven't seen the hut, but I would have assumed that they was full of cobwebs or something. But maybe look fresh.
I'd be more worried about the bears outside of the hut than the cobwebs inside.
No. I'm saying the cobwebs would indicate that no one's been at the hut for a while.
But wait a minute. This was a hut which was used when SDF was training the areas.
Yeah, training drills.
And sure enough, it wasn't the search party that found him. It was SDF soldiers who were coming to use the hut that found him in the hut.
By chance, yeah.
By chance. But
so maybe they were using it. I guess they were using it on the weekends and stuff.
Oh, they're using it for training exercise, yeah.
But I mean, no one was there for 5 days. I mean, you would think after a couple of days you would just leave because you're hungry.
Maybe.
But the kid, stuck it out.
The kid was hungry.
Maybe the kid's not smart. But a 7-year-old genius like that, there's something wrong with him.
Well, so you could have made out as a psychopath because he stayed put in shelter with running water and a mattress.
Because he didn't stay put on the road.
But he's a 7-year-old kid who's just been abandoned by his parents.
He throws rocks at cars. What kind of kid does that in the first place?
Well, what kind of parent?
You think his parents didn't tell him to shut up in the first? He stopped that. No, he keeps doing it. Okay, get out of the car.
But what kind of parent? I mean, do you think the parents said, "I'm going to be back in 5 minutes," say you're on the spot? No. The kids wanted to teach him a lesson. They said that they wanted to scare him, to discipline him.
Right.
They got in the car and they drove away. And you're saying, well, what kind of kid is that? I think he had way more than a timeout. I mean, it talk about a disproportionate punishment.
So wait a minute. If your parents left you, you would just walk off. You wouldn't wait and see maybe they'll come back.
He's a 7-year-old kid. I think what the kid does in a situation where they think they've been abandoned in the forest, I don't think they can really be held too accountable unless he went back to throwing rocks at cars. In which case, he would have been rescued much sooner.
It would have been good, actually.
That would have actually been good. If he got to throw rocks, he might have saved himself. It was because he was such a good kid.
It would have proved he was a psychopath too, but.
Well, yes, you would be right in that case, but this wouldn't even be the news.
Yeah,
it'd be a lone kid in forest arrested, for assaulting tourists.
No, I think the parents thought, "Oh, we're going to teach you a lesson," and the kid thought, "No, I'm going to teach you a lesson, and I'm going to make you worry." Because I remember being 7 years old, I would do shit like that. I was like, "No, I'm going to teach you a lesson. You'll see. I'm going to hold my breath until I die, and then you'll be sorry." That's the kind of logic kids have.
So you think that when the parents left this kid in a forest by himself, trying to make him think that he was being abandoned, you think that kid did not stay where he was deliberately just to fuck his parents?
Yeah. Because I would have done the same thing.
So what do you think should happen from this?
Oh, nothing.
Do you think the kid should be punished for not staying on the spot where he was abandoned?
Well, I think a good kid would have stayed there. A worried kid would have stayed there and helped him.
So I'm asking if you're what's the name? There was that nanny TV reality show where they would have someone come by and tell people how to parent their kids.
Oh.
If you were the nanny, if you were that,
I've never seen that show, but yeah.
It was kind of interesting. But what's your situation here? I'm kind of the view that I don't think in America or New Zealand or Australia or Canada there would be any hesitation that Child Protective Services would have been brought in just for the fact that the parents even for 5 minutes abandon this kid in the forest like that.
You're right. You leave your kid the car for 1 minit, and yeah, you're arrested. You're arrested.
You give them a timeout. You don't bloody drive away. that is a step too far, and that's what everyone's relieved that the kid is well, and I'm so relieved. That
Me too. I'm really happy.
But your view here is that it's the kid who should be punished.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just suggesting the kid fucked over his parents. I'm throwing that out there. It's possible the kid thought I'm going to fuck over my parents and I'm going to make them.
Let's say that you're right, though. Let's say that the kid was just this horrible, spiteful kid who, in the hope of fucking his parents right back, deliberately hid from his parents looking from him, and then walked away from the scene just out of spite, just like holding their breath. Yeah. And as a result, he was lost for 6 days.
Yeah. It's still the parents' fault, of course, because he's a kid.
And the parents are now in massive trouble. So now they've got the kid back. Does he deserve a timeout now?
And I think they should just chalk it up as, okay, you got me, I got you. We're done.
We're even. I don't think 6 days lost in the forest is quite even to an unreasonable method of timeout.
When the soldier came into the room, you heard about this, right? The soldier came in and said, "Are you Yamato?" He goes, "Yes, I'm Yamato." And then the kid said, "Do you have any food?"
No. And he said, "You got a rice bowl." He was like he was just completely calm, collected.
Yes, exactly. That's a psychopath. That's a psychopath kid.
That's a cool kid. That's a cool kid who kept his head.
Most kid would be crying like, "Oh my God, where's my mommy?"
So you think just because this kid is tough and because he survived the situation where you would have expected by now that he would be dead, and he was suffering from hypothermia, you're saying the fact that he was actually not distraught and psychologically traumatized and acting like you would expect, you're saying that that's a sign that he's a psychopath? I think that's a sign that he's cool. What are you talking about?
No, there's something wrong with that kid. That's not a normal kid.
Wrong with the parents. Jeez.
No, he's a survivor. He's a survivor, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he's a tough kid, but there's
Arnold Schwarzenegger left in the forest at 7 years old. They've got
Arnold would have cried. Any normal kid would be crying.
This is the whole point. I mean, and when I say Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're right. Arnold Schwarzenegger would cry, but that guy from Commando, whatever his name was, he would be, he would have actually killed like 4 deer by that point. But
he would have killed. He would have survived.
This kid and a couple of random, hobos. But this kid, is sort of halfway between those two things, right? I mean, this is cool.
The thing about this is we really have no idea because we've never met the kid or seen the kid, right? I mean, we've seen pictures of him smiling, so he can smile. He looks normal, right? But we have, Alex Stratus, who I like very much. He's English, I think. He's in shock. We don't know if he was in shock. We have no idea.
Well, as an amateur child psychologist, as you're declaring yourself tonight, would you say that I've only seen 2 photos of the kid. One immediately when he's captured, when he's looking fucking badass, like a child version of.
Oh, I haven't seen that picture.
Oh, really? It's a good photo.
Oh, cool.
And there's the other photo which they put out of the smiling kid when he was before he lost all the weight and got exposed and everything. He suffered exposure to sunburn and stuff. Would you say that's a psychopathic smile on that kid's face?
No, he looks like a normal kid.
Yeah.
But there's something weird about that kid.
Yeah. Well,
and if there isn't, there is now. If there wasn't before, there's definitely something.
Well, that's kind of my point, right? I mean, whatever kids doing dumbass shit, that we all do dumbass shit.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, and as shit goes, I mean, throwing rocks in the direction of people is something, a naughty, irritated, bored kid would do. Almost any boy would do that at some point. But driving them into the forest and abandoning them.
He wasn't driving into the forest. He just stopped the car and said, "Get out of the car." He kept driving.
Well, they were in the forest. They were
there. Right. He didn't go out of his way to go into the
They were doing a foraging, family day looking for food in the forest, which it sounds like they're teaching the kids survival skills. And they just decided they'd make it an extra test, a quasi-punishment. There's another thing with this. I've seen quite a lot that Japanese, it seems pretty common in Japan. I've lived in apartment buildings where, have you ever seen a kid shut out on the balcony of the apartment,
Oh, yeah,
shouting,
yeah.
"Let me back in."
They do that a lot.
Japanese do that a lot.
Yeah.
And that
They'll
really
shut their kids out on the balcony in the cold. And they've died in the past. There have been cases I remember. There's a case of a man throwing water on his son and putting him outside because he wouldn't eat his dinner, put him on the balcony, and the kid died of hypothermia.
I've lived next to an apartment where, like, every second day, the daughter, like 3-year-old, like a really small kid, was shut out on the balcony, and not like for a 5-minute timeout and a hug and don't do it again, like for a fucking hour. And this kid screaming, "Let me back in." And I'm feeling very uncomfortable. And I was coming into my apartment the other day, and I could hear up on the 4th floor a kid on the balcony, "Let me back in, let me back in."
Yeah.
I mean, this is this kind of, abandonment, trauma, discipline.
Shitsuka.
This is obviously driving a kid into the forest and leaving them is a more extreme version than shutting them on the veranda. But you can see what it is. They're trying to scare the kids into thinking you're going to be shunned by the family. You're not a member of the family anymore. This whole thing about Japanese society, right? The biggest fears of being shunned or shut out. And kids, a lot of people discipline their kids like this, which is kind of fucked up to me, actually. I mean, I don't think this is a legitimate way to discipline a kid.
I think my parents did that to me too, but I'm pretty sure they were watching from around the corner.
Really? They shut you out on the balcony?
No, like leave me in a store or something. If you don't pay attention, we're just going to leave you. You better come with us.
So your parents would abandon you?
They were always, but they'd always be watching around the corner. They told me.
They didn't actually drive away for like 10 minutes and leave you in a forest full of bears.
No. They were brown bears. He could have run away.
Okay, well, yeah. So anyway, sorry, we went down that path a little bit longer than I expected,
but Japanese internet is very similar in that they're calling for the father to lose his custody rights as well.
Oh.
I've seen Japanese comments saying,
but they're talking about him going to jail, for example, and the debates come up on that now. Some of the child care experts who have been calling all along for him to go to jail, when everyone was assuming that the kid was dead. Everyone seemed to be okay with that.
Some of my students thought he killed the kid, and he was.
Well, that's right. And a lot of people were kind of, saying this. And the fact that when they sent the search dogs to the place where he let the kid out of the car, and the dogs couldn't pick up a scent, and everyone was saying, well, maybe the dad's just, making a story that they left the kid in the forest to cover up something else. Yeah. And so it was looking kind of dark, and everyone was disappointed. Now that they found the kid, now there are some people saying that these people who have gone calling for the arrest of the dad need to apologize now. But this is the interesting debate. Okay, so the kid is found, everyone's, relieved and hugging and everything, but should any further action be taken? And that's a really tough one. I mean, there's no question, he went way too far. I don't feel like arresting the dad would necessarily be, it doesn't feel
I feel sympathy for the father. I think the father suffered enough. The whole family suffered. I mean, they must have thought he was dead too.
But there again, what he did was a little bit beyond the pale of normal discipline, right?
That's true.
And what do you do when a parent goes too far to a point of actually assaulting the kid or actually doing something?
Well, you know what? They should bring in someone to investigate the family, to interview everyone, a child services person. But I wouldn't say automatically take the kid away. Yeah. And do you think the kid wants to be away from his parents anymore? I don't know. I doubt it. Someone even suggested just let the kid decide. But kids don't have rights; they can't decide.
I have the solution.
7 years old.
I have the solution. The police should detain the dad. They should go and throw him into a prison cell and lock it and just walk away and leave him there for 5 minutes. Just make him think that he's in jail. And they'll say, hey, actually, no. You know what they should do? They should leave him there alone for 6 days and not feed him. And then they should let him out.
Oh, so here's something interesting. How long do you think you can survive without food?
Well, I watch these survival shows on Discovery Channel. Okay. So as I understand, it's like water is 3 days, and food is actually up to 21 days.
Yes, exactly. That's good. That's correct. Very good. You would survive in the wild.
Thank you. Well, I wouldn't survive. I'd have to find food to actually survive. But I would have a pretty. I have a good idea when I'm going to die. I've got
you wouldn't be like, I still got a couple of days.
That's right.
Because the other day I was walking down the street with my kid on a very tiny road, and he would not listen to me. I'm like, come here.
You didn't abandon him with bears.
So I went around the corner and I hid, but I used my camera so I could watch what he was doing the whole time. But I was out of view, and as soon as I was out of view, he stood up. He noticed I was out of view, and he started like going and started walking towards where he last saw me.
Yeah.
And then I popped out, but he wasn't. He only thought he was abandoned for like 30 seconds.
He didn't start like throwing rocks at people or anything like that.
No.
So you actually did this. You actually used this abandonment traumatization.
No, this before this incident, though.
Yeah.
Before this incident, though. I think it's a pretty natural thing for parents to try. If the kids don't pay attention, okay, fine, you don't pay attention, I'm just going to walk away.
I can relate. I'll rate here, Hiko Jr. Not keeping up or intentionally dragging along or going up. He sees like a gachapon thing and he wants to go and look and we say, hurry up, we're going to be late. And we'll stand there looking at him and he won't react. So, you walk around the corner. That's right. You want him to hurry up and feel, oh, no, I'm going to be left behind, so hurry up. Think about Hiko Jr. Hiko Jr. is too cool for school. He doesn't give a shit if I go out of sight. He doesn't. And in fact, he's always kind of been, let me go by myself. He's always been like, yeah, screw you guys. But so I don't know. I mean, the lad might be a little bit like the kid in this situation. Like I've never seen him. I've never seen him ever react like when I get away. Now he's like 6.5.
I see kids that old on the subway by themselves.
Yeah.
And they're really independent in Japan.
Well, my son is asking to do that as well now, and I'm like, well, in a little bit I can, and I know that he's probably okay. So it's more actually the therapy is more for me now than him. Actually, it's just me getting comfortable with it.
Well, the other thing about our culture is that I don't know about New Zealand, but you would never, or I really doubt you'd let a 6-year-old go to school alone in a city.
What are you talking about?
No, in New York City, you wouldn't let a 6-year-old go to school alone.
How do they go to school then?
No, someone takes them. Or the school bus or something, but you don't let them go on the subway by themselves.
What if they're like 10 minutes walk away? They don't just walk to school?
I think the first time I walked alone, well, you know what? I walked with my brothers at 7 in Boston.
Yeah.
But it was a small town. It was Newton, and the school was just a kilometer away and on a main road. So. But taking the subway and shit like you see Japanese kids do, it just seems like you're waiting.
But there again, most kids go to schools that are nearby schools, and they make it so that you only go on a subway if you actually go to like a private school or something like that. It's dictated by its walking distance, usually. But yeah, I used to, I caught a bus maybe when I was 6 and 7. That's when I was in Singapore. But when I was 5, I used to walk to school by myself.
Really?
Yeah, and that was in Wellington. That was in a big city.
I think there's a fear of predators in America that's just too strong.
But what are you going to do? I mean, seriously, like, so parents will actually show up late for work in order to take their kids to schools at the time. Like, school starts at 9. They'll actually show up 45 minutes late to work because they've got to drop their kids off. Really?
Or school bus.
How does that even work?
No, well, I don't know exactly. I mean, I think they take them to school and drop them off. My parents used to take me to school every day.
Yeah.
Drop them off in the car.
Oh.
Until I could drive, yeah.
But there again, in New York, where do they park? How can you drive kids? I mean, I assume New York's like Tokyo, like it's kind of crazy for traffic, right? Why would you take them in a car?
You just drop off in front of the school. They just jump on the curb.
Okay, no, that sounds really stupid to me. But I mean, I grew up New Zealand. Maybe New Zealand's changed, but I always walked on my own. Yeah.
Well, it was always too far away.
Tai Nakamura, he lives in Flint, Michigan, and he always walked to elementary school. And that's not, and I know that's not one of the safest areas. So there you go.
I guess it depends on the distance and stuff. Well, maybe I'm just imagining that everyone else's fear is too great. But you're right. When I was a kid, I did it too. So.
You're gonna have to face all this in a few years. But no, I understand there is this thing about these parachute parents, these parents who don't want their kids to be exposed to any sort of danger. But I don't know. I mean, at what point, at some point, it's going to become so inconvenient for the parents as well, and it's just stupid to begin with. But yes,
what's stupid?
It's stupid to coddle children so much, I think.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah. Ali versus Inoki. I actually didn't even know about this until you sent me the Wikipedia.
Well, you know what?
And I found a video from that which I watched.
I haven't seen the video. Oh, really?
It's on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, really? Cool. Well, I'll tell you why I know about it. Because of Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
In Rocky 2, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh? He went up against Thunderlips.
Yes.
Right?
Hulk Hogan,
right? And that was based on the Inoki Muhammad Ali fight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Muhammad Ali came to Japan. What was that? Do you remember the dates? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was June 1976.
1976, the year my sister was born.
$6 million. Yeah.
$6 million, and in those days that was a fortune.
That's like $1 billion. He could have actually probably bought Trump in those days.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had this big fight. They had all these rules. They had all these rules tailored so that both fighters would come out looking okay.
Yeah.
And as a result, they became friends after the fight. Yeah, there we go. Oh wow, and it was at the Budokan, and the most expensive seat at that time was $3,000, which in those days must have been like.
Oh, it's Sanjumayen. It was Sanjumayen in 1976 money, and this is when like yen was like seen as a cheap currency even in Italy. So yeah, I mean, again, you're talking these people are paying like 20,000, probably modern equivalent of 20 grand for a seat, and this was a packed Budokan, you know, like 10,000 people.
Right.
And for all of that, and I've seen the fight, the lamest fight ever, and it's described in the Wikipedia article.
Only 6 punches. Muhammad Ali only threw 6 punches the whole fight.
14 rounds, or it was 14 rounds, and after the first 10 seconds of the fight, Inoki laid down on his back and spent the entire 14 rounds of the whole fight laying on his back, trying to lash out, kicking Ali in the legs. And he actually succeeded. He connected with Ali, and the lace. What do you call them? The lace hooks, the metal lace hooks on Inoki's boots.
Yeah, the eye hole.
Yeah, they actually caused cuts around his knee and Ali's leg, which later got infected and caused a permanent, lifelong, lasting injury to Ali, which actually affected him in later fights. And at one point, they actually considered even having to amputate Ali's leg as a result of that.
Amazing, yeah.
And Ali, who's just walking around wondering what the hell to do with this Japanese guy on the floor. Yeah, he only got, in the entire fight, he only got 6 punches in. And apparently, and reading the Wikipedia thing, the people who paid 20 grand a seat to watch this sort of embarrassing spectacle apparently just threw so much garbage at the ring. It took more than a day to clean up afterwards.
Which is amazing.
But that said, Inoki and Ali became great friends after the fight. And after Inoki retired, which was like 30 years after Ali, I mean, Inoki went on forever. Ali actually showed up to his final match and stood in the ring with him and gave him a big speech and talked about what great friends they were.
38 years later, 1998. Yeah.
Crazy.
He flew back to Japan just for his final bout.
Yeah, but that's it. That whole thing, which I guess, and given that it reads like it was farcical, and that's I guess the Rocky movie reproduced very well with the Hulk Hogan thing.
Well, the Rocky movie is much better. I mean, you know, Sylvester Stallone kind of wins in there, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, but it has the same atmosphere because apparently Muhammad Ali thought it was going to be just an exhibition bout, but then he realized a few days earlier that Inoki thought it was going to be a serious bout, and they got worried. But the same thing with Sylvester Stallone. Do you remember the movie? He's like, "Oh yeah, let's just throw a few punches," and Thunder Lips was like, "No man, I'm going to kill you."
Yeah. Well, the Wikipedia account of the story, which I now have completely memorized because you told me to read it 1 hour before the show started, is that. They thought it was going to be a staged match, but when Ali found out that under the stage, there was actually a whole script all set out, which they actually described in the Wikipedia article, but it results in Ali losing. And when he heard that the script was for him to lose, he said, not having it, it's going to be a serious fight. Right. But then when he went over there and he saw Inoki preparing and so on, then they kind of, there was a bit of back and forth as to is it going to be staged or not, and there was like Ali first rejected it, and then Inoki was like, no, I'm like, no, I'm going to do it serious. And people were worried when Ali saw Inoki training and that he was actually like smashing around these guys in training, practicing drop kicks and stuff on them. He kind of said, so how are you going to stage it? And Inoki's like, this isn't going to be staged. And that was probably what the whole other thing was.
Right. Exactly.
But it just turned into like it sounds like and it looks like from what I saw in the video, like the lamest. I mean, if I paid 20 grand for a seat at that fight, I would have gone outside of the building to get a garbage can to throw into the ring.
I would have gone into the garbage can, right? Yeah.
Down under. You were asking why we both have poop hats on our heads. It is because we both got this. We had an unboxing at the start of the video. Keiichi and Tokyo's newest book.
There we go.
My Life in Japan. Right there. Mine arrived a few days ago, and Victor's arrived today.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, but I was waiting for this.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the show. It's in color.
Beautiful, glossy. She's really actually upgraded the paper, the glossy paper. This is a great up from the previous books.
Yeah. Oh, there's nudity. Oh my God.
Where? Show it.
Yeah. Page 21. There's some nudity. Okay. Fix it out. You get to see Ryosuke and Grace. Okay.
Oh, they're breaking new ground with this stuff. I'm not sure that we could even. Whoa.
Of course, we are teasing you guys. They would never do that.
Well,
And if they did, it would be all blurred out.
Yeah.
I've got mine at school. I use mine for teaching, actually.
Check it out. I got all four.
Oh, hey. We're going on and on. We haven't even talked about the
happy hour.
Happy hour. Yes, I had my first happy hour. I think I had. Did you have one yet?
No, mine is week after next. So I want to.
You haven't had your first one yet.
So why don't you introduce it? What is it? What are we talking about?
So YouTube has picked a few. Google YouTube has picked a few people to represent them in certain cities around the country. I'm the Nagoya rep. I don't know what the word is exactly, but and Hiko and Megwin and Dekakin are the Tokyo reps. They're still looking for reps in other cities. Osaka is Soeji Max.
And it's also muscle watching.
Oh, and muscle watching. Soeji Max and muscle watching in Osaka. So yeah, so what our duties are to host these happy hours. So basically, we just attend these happy hours that YouTube completely backs up and completely bankrolls. They pay for all the food and the liquor, and a cake. In my case, we had a beautiful cake,
which you can eat too.
Yeah, which you can eat. And we just get to meet each other and hang out and make connections. And that's what I've been. I met we had 60 people sign up at ours.
Yeah.
I think about 50 people came. There's always Dotakyan, some people who just cancel at the last minute. So I got one of those too. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And it's mostly aimed at the Japanese. Yeah. So ours was all in Japanese.
I'm just thinking for Tokyo, there's probably enough people that I might even suggest doing an international one, like maybe for the last one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's right. This is for normal people who want to attend these happy hours. One thing I should add, in Tokyo, particularly in the YouTube space, there are monthly happy hours. They're the same name, but this is a totally different thing. The normal happy hours to date are events where YouTube invites people to register and come into the YouTube space in Tokyo. And just have drinks, and they'll have some sort of presentation or whatever. But it's just kind of a drinks night. And my experience of those happy hours is that people kind of show up. They kind of huddle in their cliques or in corners or whatever. There's not really a lot of networking that sort of goes on. They're nice events, and it's nice to go there and see the people that I know. But what I like about this is that YouTube is actually for these happy hour events and creator days, which are for 150 or more people. They've actually invited a few people, including myself and Victor, to actually design a happy hour that we think would be good for creators, that creators would actually get something out of, and for, the things that we always wanted. We want to network.
Projects.
We want to talk about the things that creators want to talk about rather than YouTube guess. They've actually given us the ability to set up and design how this is going to be run. So what were the features? How did you run your happy hour in Nagoya? Well,
this is the first one. So they and it was kind of quick. We only had 3 weeks, and they said just if you could just come and give a kanpai and a speech and and kind of mingle and stuff. So it was pretty small, and nobody knows each other in Nagoya at all. It doesn't. We don't have the community.
What was the program? Was it just show up and drink and talk? Or?
Just show up and drink and talk. But what I did is, of course, Tomoko came, and Tomoko and I went around and we introduced ourselves to everyone there, and actually made a video with everyone there.
Okay.
So we just. Well, I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay.
It's 20 minutes long. I got to cut it down because nobody wants to watch a 20-minute video of just introduction. So yeah, it's mostly just introductions. But we talked to everybody, and we also got them to introduce themselves on camera so we could present them, in a video later. But they'll be coming out. But we made a lot of connections, and we met some really cool people. Out of the whole group of, I think, 40 or 50 people, it was only maybe 4 people were non-Japanese or half Japanese, or English or Spanish. Actually, Spanish speakers. There are a couple Spanish speakers. Yeah. There was I'm sorry, no, one more. There was also a Brazilian juggler. Pretty cool. Well, I'll be introducing him on the channel soon. I'll do some collabs with him.
Yeah.
A beautiful young lady who does makeup tutorials and stuff, and she's a beauty guru.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Her name, it's so easy to remember. It's Lovely.
That's an easy name to remember.
That's actually her name. Her name is actually Lovely. So we'll be doing videos with her as well. But yeah, a lot of real cool guys. There was a really cool guy with a prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
Looked like a runner, and it was interesting for me from a cultural point of view, because you hear about people who have handicaps in Japan being shunned, or Japan is really bigoted against people who are handicapped. They keep them hidden away in the closet. You've heard these stories before, right?
Yeah.
This guy walked in like he owned the place. He's wearing his running shorts. He's like a marathoner. Looks like a marathon. Running shorts, running gear, and he is completely comfortable, very cool. Which I think actually me talking about it is the most dorky thing to do. But I was just impressed that he was just completely fine. And he makes videos about how to drive stick shift cars with a prosthetic leg. And he's got a camera actually on his prosthetic leg, like pointing down at his foot to show people what he's doing. To kind of show that, he can do whatever anyone else can do.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And the leg, I got to tell you, looked pretty cool. I mean, it looked like it was a really modern robotic leg,
Well, actually, I must admit, like even the Olympics now, they have those crazy, like the sprinting prosthetic.
It wasn't that kind. It wasn't kind. It looked more like a Terminator type of leg. But.
Well, that's it. They actually look cool, like almost better than real legs. Like natural legs.
They look pretty cool. Oh, and we met one musician who had met Bruce Springsteen, Mick Jagger, and Jackson Browne, and had played with all of them. And he had pictures in his phone of all his experiences with all these great musicians.
Wow.
He's of course, a much older guy, but really cool, really cool. And Tomogo had a great time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Theodore Sharp and people are asking about where can they get the information about this event and how to sign up. It is I just refreshed the video information to include it, so it's in the links below the video. So let me tell you what I'm going to do with mine. My event is going to be June.
You're not going to have an actually just what's it called? Happy hour. Yours is actually going to be a creator day, right?
Happy hour. No, this is a happy hour. The definition of happy hour and creator day are based on the numbers of people. So the first event I'm going to do is going to be a happy hour. It's only going to be about 40 people. And it's going to be primarily drinks and networking. But in order to get people to help to know each other more, I've arranged some ice breaking and some sort of group stuff, just so that people can get to talk to each other. The first one, I've actually talked with this space, and the plan, which is currently under review, it might change, but the plan is, how they've got all these awesome all these different types of cool cameras at the space and all this equipment. Are you
of course. Yes.
So how they have all this equipment. I basically went and picked out like I picked out 5 of the coolest, easiest to use cameras that they have there. So there's the Canon G7X, which I tell everybody to go and get if they're starting on YouTube. There's a Panasonic head-mounted camera, like the referee camera or the fighter camera.
Oh, cool, yeah.
There's the Canon 360, the Kodak 360 camera that you've got. Like there's a brand new 4K version of that. There's the Ricoh Theta, the full 360 camera.
Oh yeah, you have one of those, right?
Yeah, one of those. The newest version of that. And there's
it's
also
a 4K version, right?
Yeah. No, it's not 4K, but it's higher resolution. Okay. And there's also a GoPro with a Feiyu, one of those, Steadicam battery mounts. You know what I mean? Those battery cam mounts.
Yeah.
So I've got those 5 cameras, and I'm going to have an icebreaker activity where I'm going to get people in groups to figure out how to make an entertaining video with those different types of cameras using the cameras different.
And everyone gets a different camera.
Every group will get a different camera, and as a group they'll have to over drinks figure out what they want to do with that camera, and then go off and record with that camera a 60-second video. So the point is you'll get to try a cool, unusual type of camera which they can offer there in the space, and you get to record in the space.
How many editing stations are there?
So the rule is going to be a single clip. So 3 of those cameras you can upload straight from the files to YouTube. The 2 360 cameras require some processing, and that's what I'm working up with the space staff right now, that I'll do the processing. But yeah, they'll need to do a single cut, and they'll need to just figure out what they're going to do with that. But it's cool. I mean, so you're going to get to play with the fun toys in the space, as well as network and have drinks and get to know some people. So it's going to be
you're lucky, because in Tokyo you have those, but we don't have those here.
Well, that's because Tokyo is better.
Yeah, well, you got stuff that we don't have. You have toys.
That's right. We have toys.
But I'm going to have to figure out. I was thinking something similar, but I guess we'll have to use our own equipment. Maybe.
Yeah, well, you don't have to do the same thing. And actually, what I suggested it, like Dave, he said, dude, that sounds like work. You should be doing like games and stuff like that. And the moment he said that, I was like, oh, dude, you're right.
We played bingo.
Yeah, well,
we gave away T-shirts, and for people who don't realize this is not for bigwigs. This is not for you got so many subs you can go. No, it's for people who have 1,000 to 10,000 subs. So 1, the point is to help them. But yours too, right?
1,000 for our audience is a little bit of a harsh threshold, and I've raised that point, and they've said that they might look at adjusting it depending on how it goes. I think it could be a little bit lower, but they do point out they do actually review all of the channels that approve, and they kind of do a vetting process. And so the problem is that below 1,000 now, there are so many YouTube channels in Japan. It would be more than the YouTube staff can process. That's the reason. But I do think they can lower it, and I'm talking with them about that, but we'll see. But it is 1,000 to 10,000, so it's definitely not. And the reason they don't have people over 10,000 is they worry. Apparently, the common experience of these events is that when you have a famous YouTuber and like you're having a discussion, the moment the famous YouTuber talks, the conversation ends. Everyone is kind of either too starstruck or not wanting to disagree with the famous guy. So I think it's good for that. It means it's going to be aimed at up and coming,
I think
channels in that band. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And everyone's really friendly. Everyone's really eager to cooperate and collab, and we had a lot of our people come up and just introduce themselves in front of everyone. And quite a few people were like, they had a choice, if you want to say a few words. And people came up and say, hey, my name is blah, blah, and I really want to collab. So if you want to collab, just contact me. Yeah. I'm open for collabs. So yeah. And collabs do help. I mean, a lot of us have collabed in the past, and
I think people have forgotten. I think in the rush to figure out how to monetize YouTube and how to turn yourself into a brand, the social net. I mean, when YouTube was a social network, it was all about connecting with people and collabing and getting shout outs. But now it's about self-branding and selling, like that. And actually, collabs are kind of incompatible with the new, kind of YouTube. If you
the me YouTube.
Well, if you're a beauty vlogger and you are sponsored by a makeup company and you're on a deal that you're going to make 3 vids every week, where do you make a collab vid with someone, and how would that look to your subscribers or your sponsor? You know what I mean? It's not as easy to do as it used to be when it was just fun. Yeah, it's become kind of work for a lot of people. So I still think collabs, and I like people to explore how they can do it. And it's not just about making a video together. This is like where you're on camera. There's a bunch of people out there who want to do editing or want to, support other other channels and stuff like that. There's all sorts of ways. But this is the sort of thing I want to have a discussion about. I want to get people talking about when I do my happy hour. So it's a happy hour, but I'm going to kind of call it a workshop. I want to get people talking. So yeah, we'll see.
But yours is going to be all in Japanese, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be there to help those who struggle, but you've got to have a basic level. You got to be able to talk about, why you like YouTube and what you do on YouTube to the other members of your groups who are going to be all Japanese. So if you've got no Japanese, it's going to be, you don't have to have perfect Japanese, but you've got to be able to at least have a basic conversation, Right.
Yeah, ours was all in Japanese. And it was good. It was no problem. Everyone who came could speak. So, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And we're having another one on July 29th.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so we're already scheduled the next one in Nagoya. So I'm sure Osaka's got one too coming up. I don't know about those.
And I'm hosting a Creator Day, which you are going to be involved in as well, on September the 3rd. It's a little bit in the future, but that will be the day.
And I have one on September 9th, the next weekend, back in Nagoya.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, maybe we can actually do the same thing, but in different locations.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. We are now out of time. The clock has struck midnight. We have our poop. We have our books. We have our poop. The bears let the kid go. The gorilla didn't make it, and Ali will forever be in heaven. I love the way he talks. I'm sure he's going to be giving speeches up there. So,
assuming, yeah.
So,
assuming. Well, no, but dude, 72 versions. He was Muslim.
Sorry? Oh,
he was Muslim.
Yeah. So
72 versions.
I didn't realize you were an expert in being Muslim.
I think they get 72 versions, right?
We have probably better qualified people in the comments. I'd be curious to see, and I certainly hope that doesn't offend, but I don't know.
If anyone deserves versions, it's going to be Ali.
I don't know, personally, and I don't want to say anything against any religion, but you know what? I would prefer 72 enthusiastic, but moderately experienced.
I got to go with you.
Well, honestly, it's like you have to keep teaching all over again. You practically have to open like a school at that point,
The funny thing about that version rule is that how do you know they're women? And there's nothing in there that says they're women, does it? Is there?
Well, that's the typical lawyer approach, that you want to see everything defined. I mean, I think this is what they mean by having faith. So
I'm sure someone's pissed off and thinking that I'm insulting, so I apologize for that. I'm just joking.
I'm not sure that whole thing is actually true at all, but even as a theoretical, I'm not sure it'd be a good thing.
If someone Ahmed said we actually get 720 burgers,
but there's been budget cuts. Damn budget cuts.
All right. Hey, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Theodore, thanks for watching.
See you next week. Okay, peace.
Good night. Next week on my channel. Bye.